Hey everybody, Xdesign 101 here, and today we're going to continue off with our shop UI. Someone has brought up to my attention that they were unable to add pictures or modify the UI to their liking because it's just text, and I understand that I left it pretty plain, but it's pretty easy to modularize if I used the right word. If not, it sounded cool in my head. But anyway, let us continue. So as you can see, it's as simple as just adding a raw image to the buttons. Oops, I don't know why that does that after starting recording, but it does for some stupid reason. But let's continue. Right here, I just put a button. So if we click on our shop items here, go into our scroll view and our content, and we click on our potion here, we have all our potion information on the button with the on click trigger event, but we don't have an image, so let's just add a raw image to it. Boom boom. So this potion would use a potion image, and then you can just copy paste and just change the image here and then change the information that's here. So param1 where it says potion, the value which is param2, and then the description of the item which would be in here as well. So these sort of things kind of just happen, right, because of these parameters that you're sending through the on click. So that's really helpful. So each button will be modified per item. That's how a shop really works. There's no like bag. If you really wanted to make a shop that works like that, you can. I just probably wouldn't suggest it all too well, because then if you bought all the copies of the item in there, right, you would have bought all the copies of the item. So if you're making a game that's single player and you only want to be able to buy that item one time, then what you can do, of course, is you could add a bag component to the object really simply, and then just get all the information the same way you're getting for the bag side of this menu here, but out of the bag on that object, and then make each button similar to how I'm going to tell you how to modify these buttons here to make them more universal. This way, if you have like 1,000 buttons, it's like super awesome and easy. You won't have to actually number each one of them profusely. So that's pretty much as easy as changing that for your shop. And if your shop, you can make your shop identical to how the bag is, but just put a bag component on top of the object of that shop instead of getting the bag object from your player, for instance. I guess I left that little bit out there the first time. So let's move on over back to our bag items right here. In our first slot, we have added our raw image. We don't actually have an image set here at all yet, but let's go ahead and click into our blocks. Let me explain something small for you guys. Using your on update isn't always the best thing to do because it's just going to make a lot of calls for no reason. For instance, you don't actually need to call this in the on update. So like you're basically checking if the item is in the bag of the player is not equal null. That should work for the most part. And then if it's not equal null, then we want to return the image information, right? At the same time, this is where you could be setting your other information here. So like you would probably want to get the name of the item. So I guess I never really fully completed this, did I? Because we got the set cell item, which is setting the information. We're getting info from the bag. See, this is grabbing all from bag slot 1. So like basically we can modify this get item from bag slot 1. All we can do is we could just add a get child index. Now you could actually download this script. It's by itmars. I'll put the link in the description, as well as the link in the description for the extra blocks. You guys definitely need both of these. The extra blocks comes with a series of extra blocks, and then get child, it's the best. It's just going to grab the child, this object, and it's going to tell you what position of the child it is in. So if it's the 4th item within the child list of that item, that's what it's going to tell you. It's number 4. So you can literally take this at this point, go into your set item, and just add that into there. So we're getting the bag item. So now you can literally just copy and paste this item several times, this button, and it's automatically gonna grab from the allocated bag spaces starting from 0. So if this is the first button, which it is, it'll grab 0, and then the next button in the child list will grab 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So it makes it a lot quicker to use this blocks. I had a bit of a tough time getting someone to make it because my coding skills are slim to none. I'm only really good at editing and not creating for whatever reason. But Itmar's helped. They tried to help me do the loop process or whatever with the blocks, but I couldn't get that working, and then boom, he just decided to do it, and I appreciate it so much, and I'm sure you guys will as well, because it makes it so much easier and less messy visually for us. So basically, that's a selected bag item. So yeah. What might be in here? See, like, this is not how I would build it now, to be honest. Like this set interactable, like the set sell item makes sense because it's for selling. So we pretty much get text.text from bag slot 1, selected bag item. And then the item base value. So this, I'm making this very difficult on everybody. See, like, so we want to set selected bag item in. We could literally get item from bag slot. Items, let's see here. Or better yet, object. No, we should literally just be able to do this as string, and it should just get us the name like that, because it's getting the object, so it should just grab us the name. It's the first thing that normally comes out. So now we're selected bag item will be set to the name of this indexed, right? So now it's even, this is the best way to make it modular as possible. And then basically in your on enabled, so basically your item you would have, you're gonna put like an event on there, like the add on, the on added to bag and on removed from bag. You would have it casting basically you'd be checking if GUI object is active. Yeah, you'd be wanting to check to if the game object is active. So if is active, and then you're going to type in the name of the window. So the name of the window would be the shop UI, the canvas shop right here. So if canvas shop is enabled, then you'll cast disable and enable on the canvas shop so that it casts the event on enabled, which would then refresh your UI only when you add and remove from the bag, instead of on every on update, which is wasting precious call times and everything like that for you. So it's a best way to practice to do it in this case, just because of that small reason. Once you make a full-size game, you probably notice some like lag or something because you'd have too many on late updates calling way too much stuff, and you don't want that. So start practicing and using the on update as least as possible. Yeah, so basically in your on update for this example, we're we're getting the item bag and we're checking that, and basically we're just going to get the image, which you would find that in objects at the top here, get image or sprite, whichever one you're using, and then the item in the get child index. So let's go ahead and give this a shot, shall we? So I'm going to delete all those. I'm going to want to duplicate a few of those. We're going to apply, disable, and we'll give it a run. Sorry for the long video and if I rambled on a lot, but it happens. Demo scene. So we don't have any items in my bag here. So if we pick up this item and this item and this item, now if we open up my shop, you can see that there is images here that have been set. You can hardly see them, but let's go into our hierarchy bag window. List, scroll view, content. If we click on this button here and we go down into our raw image, you can see that there is an image set here, and if I was to change the color, you can now see the image. It is now setting your image for each button, and it's super modular, and all you had to do was copy and paste 100 buttons after you made the one button. And now you guys see why I stressed so much on needing this block, the get index. What is this? The slot must be set. Set cell item. Okay, and then the item indent is not set. So whatever that means, I'm not sure. I just finished updating some things, but not everything, so that could be a reason for it. Get item in slot. So maybe I'm just missing something. Bag items. Whoops, content. So we get the slot must be set. Get item in slot. Item indent is not set. What item indent? So it's working, but it's casting this error. Shady. Shady, shady indeed. I guess it might help if I was to actually update this here. Import. Oh, it's taking longer than I thought it was going to. Come on. Bam. All right. I'm just gonna log in and just see what it does. So there's apparently nothing in there. But when I go add the items and then open up the shop, it is updating the item picture. For whatever reason, each of these is getting the word sword. So that means I have to modify something further here. Set selected bag item, cha-cha-cha. Did I? Yes. It figures. Haha. That's why that's happening. On your text and your stack size text, again, switch your on updates to on enabled and do the on enabled thing I mentioned. This is just a horrible early method of doing things. I was warned the same thing, and I could honestly see the reason for it, like I was explaining. So let's just go ahead and get that block that I told you guys to add, the get child index. We'll do that for both of these. And wham, there we go. Now let's delete these other buttons and re-duplicate these 4 buttons here. We'll save it and damn it. Whatever, doesn't matter. We'll play it. Check my inventory. I got shit. We'll grab 1 sword, open this up, and we have 1 item. Well, fancy that. It ain't doing shit now. Get item from bag slot. Get child index of. Oh, that makes sense. See now. Go back to object and use get parent. Get parent of self. Because these are children of the bag slot, which is child of content, which we want the child of the content values. So this is what we got to do for this. Do that for both of these. Get parent. And again, delete those buttons. I don't know what that is doing there, but the set cell items, the slot must be set. What does it mean the slot must be set? Like, I didn't get this error before, and now I'm getting it, so I don't understand. Why would it still function correctly if it's got this error? I feel like this error is just completely bullshit. Oh, sorry for my language, guys. Like, everything's set up. I didn't change much other than the get child indexes. When it was, I added this, but that didn't kill anything. Oh, that's... Well, shit. If text.text bag slot 1 equals null, Okay. Text.text. Yeah, that would make sense. I like that the way it is, to be honest. Okay, well, naturally that should be working flawlessly. Please disregard the errors that you are currently seeing when that happens. I just disabled the error menu. I guess I'll leave it on. Doesn't really matter. If at any point in time this design ever caused you errors, I don't see why. Even with my updates, I don't see why. And let me guess, I did not, the slot must be set. Item intent is not set. Let's read this. Okay, yeah, the get in bag slot, I understand. Ay. So it's item 2. Item indent is not set. Okay, well that makes sense why that's happening. Cha-cha. List, scroll view, content. I figured out what that was in my on update here where I'm doing this. I actually got to go into common game object, and you actually have to put a game object in there, not the item. So if get item from bag slot, get child not equal game object null, or even, let's see here, item and common and then game object. What about string? You know what, string null actually would work better. I prefer to use item 2 since it won't call back errors if their item does not exist. String nothing. Alright, there we go. That should work now. But what is this doing? What is it saying it's doing? Get item in slot of player. Well, we'll try a simple fix up like that, see if that fixes it. I guess we'll see. Because the other two aren't giving me an issue, so it had to be that. But huzzah, we'll walk. Oh my god, I made horrible animations on that demo character. And canvas shop. Yeah, that was the problem. So those errors, well, one of those errors was completely shit, and the other one was my bad because of the whole string issue. But as you can see, it is setting the item purchase price, sell price, and it set the name sword here, but it also shows you how much and the name right here. So basically, as simple as we just redesign that one button, now the button is completely, not shop items, bag items. We can just copy and paste it a bunch of times and it'll take up all our shop items. So in my other game I'm making, I literally have 28 of these. I have 28 bag slots, and that's the maximum bag slots. So I'll have 27 here, and I don't have to make any changes. It would affect all 27 of my bag slots, and it will get the image plus the information from it. And depending on how you design the buttons initially, really make the difference in all. So think about how you're making your buttons so that it's always as easily updatable and modular as possible. So this would be the first step, I guess. Glad I could help you guys out. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you desperately need help with, and I will do my best to get videos out there for you guys. Sorry it took so long, but you guys got to see how my mind thinks a little bit at the same while shooting a video. Ciao.